Against the Ropes podcast.
He's desperately trying to Ali won't extend himself while Al's against the rope. But Ali smells blood.
Once again, catches him and now tries to go to work against the ropes. All right, Mayweather back into the ropes. He's in trouble now as DeMarcus Corley once again catches him and now tries to go to work against the ropes. All right, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's Against the Ropes podcast. Gio Garcia here. I'm alongside
Christian Mosqueda.
and
Chicana boxing.
AKA Lily. Right. We are back in the building. Same spot as last episode, right? We're not going to give any locations out, but we're here back in the building. And we have a very, very special guest. You might know her as Hook Roxy's mom, maybe, right? She's
right.
mother, trainer, chef, chauffeur, all of the above, all these labels.
That's me.
And she has a great stable of fighters that we'll get into in a little bit. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Coach G, Ms. Gloria. Gloria, hey. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you
Once
for
again.
having me.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure.
All right, Coach. I know in a previous episode on Against the Ropes, you did mention the experiences you face with your fighters on how maybe you don't get access or they don't try to give you access as normal trainers because, quote unquote, they say, oh, this guy brought his mom. Go a little bit more, give us a little bit more insight on those experiences and how, as renowned as you are already, how, you deal with that going into the fighters, camps.
Well, getting into first, the weigh-ins and stuff, and it's a little more challenging, sometimes complicated because sometimes in the weigh-ins, the men, they have to go with the towel, and I happen to be there, so I kind of just turned away, and so a lot of people like, what is this woman doing in here, or they tell me, señora, ¿quieres salir del cuarto? They don't really expect me to be one of the trainers, and I'm there with my fighter. I have to make sure he's on weight too. And, and people just stare at us, or if I'm filling out the paperwork, the commissioners ask, where's his trainer? Who's the trainer? And, are you his mom? I get asked that all the time if I'm their mom. And, no, I have to explain to them I'm the trainer. And I mean, it's pretty cold world out there sometimes, when they don't know who you are and you're going to a different, like a different country, you're going to fight. They don't respect that, not everyone, but a lot of these male, people, fighters, coaches, commissioners, doctors, whatever, they don't respect that a woman is in there and has a professional fighter of their own, and they don't take you serious enough. But yeah, everyone thinks I'm one of my pro fighters, that they think I'm the mom. So, and when I do tell them I'm the trainer, they kind of give a little smirk, or they check me up and down. They give me that, and getting access to the dressing rooms, that's always a challenge, no matter what. It is always a challenge. I'm always stopped. I'm always, ma'am, you can't come back here. You can't, what do you need? I said, well, I need to get back there. Like, what do you need? And I said, well, I need to get to my fighter. And they look at my credentials and they inspect it, making sure it's not a, fake one, or, and so, yeah, I always have to face those challenges. It doesn't really bother me anymore. The more I go through it, the more used to it I get. I know what I'm going to face. So I give myself a couple minutes because I have to go through all these people.
Prepare yourself.
Yes. And that's pretty much it. It doesn't bother me anymore. I mean, I don't allow it to bother me. I refuse to let it bother me, unless I'm in a big hurry, like last fight, for instance. We were stopped at the door and they put their hand right there and they said, you can't come back here. Señora, usted no puede entrar. And I was like, why? And my fighter was like, why not? And he said, well, only the fighter and the boxer and the trainer. He's like, well, she's my trainer. And he just looked at me again, up and down. And he's like, well, okay, that's fine. She's going to help you in the corner. But the only one that can come back here is the person who's going to wrap your hands because it's a small locker room. And he's like, well, let her through. She's wrapping my hands too. So I had to face that challenge. And it was like we had 5 minutes to wrap and get ready. And poor kid was shadow boxing as I was putting on his gloves or wrapping his hand. He was just like doing this to warm up. And we got it done. At the end of the day, we got it done. And we earned everybody's respect. After the fight, when I was meeting them and I just turned around, I saw like a whole circle of all men. The same men that, kind of gave me that smirk were the same people sitting ringside watching us do our thing. Right. So I earned that respect there as well.
So some people are barely starting to see your face on social media, but you've been in this game for years.
Oh.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how it all started for you? Yeah.
So I was blessed to be part of, a family. Their last name is Urquidez. Urquidez. Urquidez family. They're legendary kickboxers, first MMA fighters, and boxers as well. My grandmother was a professional wrestler. My grandfather was a professional boxer. All of our parents and our uncles and aunts, and they were all fighters. I did kickboxing. I never fought professionally, but I did kickbox, and I was in the gym all my life, and it's something that. It wasn't just something that I really liked, I enjoyed. It was just something I knew that was in my DNA. It's in my blood, and then there's two people in my family. There's fighters or there's good trainers, great trainers. And I happen to do both. And I had my daughter, I had my first daughter. I started to train her. I opened up a gym for her and I started training her, taking her to fight. I helped my family in the gym, training people. I trained a lot of young kids. And I opened up my own gym for my daughter, and I just started with her. She was my first fighter of my own. My oldest daughter, not Roxy. Roxy is like, I think my 100th fighter. But yeah, I practiced with everyone else before I got my hands on her. Yeah.
What are some of your fondest memories that you have? Like a first, picking up those mitts or what are some of those memories like?
There's a lot of them, but I can honestly say there was one that I was extremely proud of. So my aunt, she was like a mother to me. She raised us and she was the world champion. She had a gym and she knew we were good trainers. We did everything, everything technical with her. And I mean, we trained a lot of fighters. So I have a cousin. I'm not going to say his name, but he was hogging up all the great fighters. And there was this one kid that just could not win. He had 6 loss. He was 0-6. He had a perfect record of 0-6. He just could not win. So, my tia, she tells me, Mija, I'm going to give you this one fighter. He's so good. He's got the hard work ethic. He goes, but he just doesn't have the talent, but I know you could do something with him. I think I was about maybe 19, 18 years old. And, so I said, okay, I can do it. And I'm so competitive. My family, we're all competitive. I said, I'm going to get this kid and I'm going to make him a great fighter. So I spent like 3 hours a day with him in the gym. It was just one-on-one. And so we started sparring my cousin's fighters and we just started beating the crap out of them. And we went to fight and he actually won like his next 10 fights. Then I went to Golden Gloves and we won Golden Gloves. So we won Golden Gloves. So that was actually one where I said, you know what? I can make great fighters. I could change these fighters' lives. I can make something. I can do something with these fighters,
Now, was there any, you talked about your first daughter, how you trained her, and then you now train your daughter, right, Hook Roxy. Was there any hesitation at all to maybe hand her over to somebody else because of you? You're so busy and have other your own stable of fighters. Do you ever think maybe, I should, only focus on her and not have all the other fighters? Is there any hesitation there?
Absolutely. I believe in myself. I know sometimes these kids, they get upset with me because they said, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Just relax and get some rest. Just relax. But Roxy is very dedicated. She's very motivated. She's motivating to other fighters. She's trained alongside the world champions all her life, so she knows how to work. So if I don't have enough time for her, and she knows these other guys are on calendar, she'll step back and hit the bag on her own. So I kind of we kind of know when I can handle, when I don't. And like there's moments that I say, wow, you know, I don't know if I can do this. I got to focus on Roxy. You know, I have to really focus on her because she's got to get there. But the little girl probably knows more boxing than I do. So she can hold her own mitts and give herself her own water and give herself her own instructions in the corner. So yeah, taking time from her, I do worry about that a lot. But she assures me at the end of the day, we got this, Mommy. We're a team. So, you know, we just roll with the punches. We just keep going and going and going, you know. Like right now, we have everybody fighting in November. There's 5 of them on calendar in November. So I'm actually have to like sit back, take a deep breath and just go and just follow my routine, my everyday routine and not break it, you know, not break it, not try not to overwhelm myself with more people or more things, responsibilities and give my time to these fighters.
Now, seeing her blossom the way that she has as a fighter, not only as a multinational champ, how does that reflect back on you, and how do you feel like that reinforces you as a trainer, as a coach, as someone who, like you said, it started off as, it's in your blood, but you had to prove yourself along the way, and you continue to have to prove yourself to these random men, you know, at the fights and the commissioners and the judges and you know, other trainers. How does seeing her blossom into the person she's becoming and, you know, Olympic trials and all of this reflect back on you? How do you feel every time you see her?
Well, that's a question that's kind of not hard to answer, but I like to stay humble, and I don't like to think about like everyone's watching us, because it just kind of doesn't make me nervous. It just makes me second guess everything I'm doing, and I don't like to feel that way. Thank God, you know, we are blessed to be in the amateurs as long as we have, and she's made a name for herself. So when people watch us in the amateurs, because we are still in the amateurs, it's kind of like they roll out the red carpet for us. It kind of feels like, because they accept us with open arms, you know, and they know we're coming, and everyone knows when they see us on the roster, when they check in on the computer, that Iyana Verduzco is in the tournament, so they expect to see us. So it's almost like a family. So it's not. I think I left the subject a little. Did I go off the subject because I'm watching Roxy trying to sneak in? But anyway, no. So I mean, it's like I said. I mean, it feels good. It feels amazing that she's taken me to this level. I was able to travel the world with her, so I feel special. Without her, I wouldn't be here. Without her, none of this would happen for me. I don't think. You know, well, actually, not that I don't think. I know for a fact that if this wasn't for Roxy and my other daughter, I wouldn't be in this position I am today. So without Roxy, there's no Coach Gloria. And without Coach Gloria, there's no Roxy. So we're a perfect fit and a perfect match. So yeah, she's gotten my name out there because of her talent, her hard work and dedication.
And that is a right hook Roxy, ladies and gentlemen. Iyana Verduzco. I don't know if we clarified that or not, but going back to your routine, G, and let's not downplay your work here. Don't be humble when you answer this, but can you describe your daily routine a little bit? Because we've seen a lot. We've had the pleasure of hanging out with you the last couple of weeks, and you do a lot. So what does your daily routine look like from start to finish?
Give my whole recipe.
As detailed as possible.
We can say that for the bonus episode. Yeah.
Well, first of all, starting at 3:30, maybe 4 in the morning, I roll off the bed to my right side, and I go and brush my teeth. Kind of like clean up the house a little, because you know when you have a clean environment, I just feel it makes everyone feel like they're ready to start the day. So I believe in having a clean environment. Yes. And then I get the certain fighters up, not everyone, but whoever's on calendar, get them up at 4:50 in the morning. The ones that have to run that mountain, we're up at that mountain by like 5:20 in the morning, and we run the mountain. We do about 4 or 5 miles. We come back. I make breakfast. They sleep a little for about an hour, and then I wake them up. They eat breakfast 7:30, and some of them eat at 9. The ones that are sparring at 10 o'clock in the morning, they eat breakfast at 7:30. So it's a little complicated, but I have everything down. I can show you. I promise you everything is down. They never miss. breakfast or lunch or dinner, you know. After that, they go back to sleep. I clean up the house again and prepare kind of like for lunch. Wake them up at 10. We hit the gym at 11 o'clock in the morning. There's certain times that I have to go to 2 gyms. One is wild card and the other one is like at Buddy McGirt's, whatever we're doing that day. After that, we come home. I cook again, you know, and then the fighters, they take off their wet clothes and they relax, and then they come and they eat, and then some of them take showers, and then they go back to sleep.
You said some of them?
Well, I don't want to say.
Let's continue.
So they eat, and
Just
then
all of them.
yeah,
Of course, you know.
most of them I have to go around the table, put their little vitamins. They have certain vitamins, put their vitamins, give them water. I'm like a mom too, so you know I make sure they're taken care of. Everyone does wash their dish, so
Hey, there
you
go.
know,
We gotta do it.
yeah. So
All right, we're gonna take a pause. We're gonna go wash our dish real quick.
yeah, no, you guys have napkins.
I use napkins.
Yeah, so after that, then they get the rest, and that is Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we wake up a little later. I wake up like at 4. The guys, they wake up at 9 o'clock. I'm knocking on the door, and they're ready to eat breakfast, you know, and they eat breakfast. Go to the gym at 11. They spar, some of them, and we come back, we eat, and then I get them up, I give them their shakes, and then there's 2 different schedules with Andy, Elite Smith, my partner. Some go at 6. It's Roxy and Carlos go in at 6 because they're in phase 4. And then Alan and Jose Balderas, they go in at 7. And so, yeah, it's two different schedules. So I get that time. I used to go every day with them to strength and conditioning, but now it's allowed because they're big, you know.
They got
don't-
too strong. You don't
Yeah, no, they're just like, Mom, just stay home, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know what to do with myself when I'm home. I'm just watching fights and I'm like bored. But I usually always go with Roxy, but I want to give them that time. But now I'm gonna have to start going to monitor Roxy and Alan, you know, 100%.
Now, earlier during the night, you told us about a former, you know, gym person who nicknamed you Mama G.
Yeah.
Going on that as well, because you talk about how you prepare food for your fighters and you give them their vitamins, make sure they, you know, shower at least once a week, I hope. So there is that motherly role that you do have, regardless of being a trainer and being a trainer first. The motherly instinct is still there.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us a little bit more about that.
Well, how could I say that without sounding like a mommy? I just know. I know what they lack. I know what they need, you know, and I can't treat my daughter like my child and everybody else like you're just a fighter. I just feel that they all need love too, you know, and they need that extra, you know. They're not going to take their vitamins, believe me. I've left the vitamins right there at the water. They walk right through. They act like they didn't know what it was. I followed them to the room and said, "Here, take your vitamins, every single one of you guys." So, I mean, I wash their clothes. Not all of them anymore, but you know, I do it. You know, make sure they have clean towels out the door. Make sure you guys grab your towel. Make sure everybody has their wraps. Make sure everybody, you know, I just do it. It's an automatic thing. Like I'm always with my switch on, you know. So yeah. And then when I get to the gym, I'm coach. I'm hardcore. Yeah.
Now, how much you mentioned Coach Andy Aguilar? Shout out to him. I'm
That's
rocking his
my
shirt, actually.
boy.
Hey,
Yeah, you mentioned Andy. How much has he helped you in this whole process of trying to build these elite athletes and fighters? And I know you guys have very good chemistry, but can you describe that a little bit? How much has he helped you in this whole process?
Shit. I'm sorry, excuse me. That was a coach party. Get your ass out there. I was blessed to have reached out to Andy. And Andy is like the most amazing person that I've met. Like he's the softest human being, like a big teddy bear. Sorry, Andy, I'm not trying to make you look soft.
He don't look
but he has
soft,
like
does he?
big ass muscles and he's a man, you know.
Big ass
And
biceps.
yeah, and I think I'm the more rugged one, like the one that talked like the one that'll like crack the whip on people and I tell him, no, Andy, you got to get him out of here, you know. And Andy always believes in. Give me a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Beanies. Yeah, okay. You got yours too? In the car. Just put it on, man. You sweat. Careful, guys. Hold on.
It's a motherly role right there.
You're like, I'm gonna time these motherfuckers.
And look out the window.
And
Make sure
go.
they're not sitting there.
And go. I'll give them extra 5 minutes to get their stuff. I'm sorry. Okay, now where I left off at?
Andy and how he
See,
looks
I'm
like
on
a
everything, huh?
big muscle guy.
Yeah, like I said, I was blessed to have reached out to him, and I'm glad I did. You know, I really don't slide in people's DMs. Is that what they call it? Professionally, you know, and I just couldn't help myself, but like, wow, this guy's amazing, you know, and I usually mind my own business, but I was just all up in his business. Every day he posts a video, I was just watching, you know. And I said to myself, like, this man is it. He's gonna help me change my life. He's gonna be the next chapter in my life. He's gonna be my mouthpiece, you know. If you're afraid of my character, but you better be afraid of his muscles. You know, he's a big guy. He's strong. No, but he's allowed me to be. I don't know if I want to call it the leader, but he's allowed me to guide him and talk him out of things and talk him into things, and he allows me to take charge of certain things, and he doesn't mind that. So he's not like sexist. Is that what you call it? Like he's not sexist. Where
He's not insecure.
yeah, like
Or egotistical, because a lot of people have
Yeah.
that ego too that they don't.
Yeah. And he's just made the last 2.5 years of my life very easy, you know, very easy. And he follows what I say and I follow what he says, you know, and we're a perfect match for each other because I don't get in his business and he doesn't get in the boxing business. We do have athletes. They're not our own athletes, but if we're working with them in certain things, like we treat them like they're with us, and because people ask us for favors or they ask us for help, not favors, help too, and we open our doors if we have room and we feel that this person needs the help and they can really use the help and the work we're giving, then why not? You know, it helps us build our own brand, and so yeah, pretty much.
Coach Gloria, on one of our previous episodes, you mentioned that you're always looking to learn and grow. What are some trainers, or you know, whether they're still here or not, that influenced you on your way to becoming a trainer?
That's an interesting question. As you can see, I have boxing on my my thing right now. I look at a lot of the old trainers. I do listen to instruction they give. I watch a lot of old school boxing. I watch a lot of new stuff. I personally like Freddie Roach. I learned a lot from that guy. You know, even if it's not in person, I'm watching him on TV. I hear the instruction. I see where the knockout comes, and I go back and I listen to the instruction, and I see the guy execute it, and I'm like, oh, I like that. You know, that's gonna work for me. I like Alcazar. I like Buddy McGirt. I'm getting to learn him. There's a lot of other trainers too that are not world famous, but they're very good trainers. Yeah, they're just those hidden gems, like people I learn a lot from. I learned a lot from my family too. How to perfect things, how to be perfect at what you do, you know, and just don't worry about making mistakes. You fix the mistakes as you go, you know, but fix them in the gym before it's too late. When you get in the fight, they're not fixable, you know. So we work drills every day, the same drills over and over and over and over and over. We practice mitts, throw what you're going to throw in a fight. You know, I don't believe in fancy mitting. I like doing it. It sounds good. It looks good. But at the end of the day, hit me with that and I'll give you the respect. Like, you're not hitting me with 6 punches like that. You know, so we take our time. You know, I see a lot of trainers talk about balance. I hear a lot of commentators. I learn from a lot of commentators too. I do listen to the commentators. And if you're a good trainer, you're going to listen to commentators because he's telling what the person is doing wrong. And you have to like see it. Like I see it. Like, oh yeah, he's right. This is what he's doing. You know, well, how to fix that. Let's see if his trainer is going to fix it. And if his trainer doesn't catch on to it, then, you know, it's something I learned. Like, oh, you got to catch on to all that stuff. So, because when you're in the corner, you got to make adjustments quick. So you better be smart and sharp.
How nervous do you get when you're there at the corner?
You want me to be completely honest with you?
1,000%.
I don't.
You don't?
I don't. No. And that's the legit answer. I do not get nervous. I don't. I'll tell you what, I do get nervous. Wrapping hands when the cameras are on me. I don't like that. I don't like
Don't
it.
look at me.
I don't like it. You know, I just don't like it.
Why, do you
But-
feel like they're going to judge you or?
Yeah. But I can't concentrate.
Is it something more like not necessarily that they're, quote unquote, judging you or that you care that they're, but that again, as a woman, kind of navigating these male infested, industries, you're more like, okay, they're just gonna be nitpicky, not necessarily judge, but nitpicky. Like, oh well, she's doing this a certain way because she's a girl. Like, oh, they never taught her right because she's a girl. Is it something more like that?
No, because I know I could wrap hands better than half these men out
Hey.
there. It's more the fact that the camera's right in my face.
So the focus.
And yeah,
The
it's
lights.
like, get out of my
Camera
face,
shot,
and then I start to sweat because I just don't like the cameras in my face, and I just feel like I just don't have the room. I just feel like they're on top of me and it's like, get out of my face. Don't do it. I just don't like the cameras that close. You can tell I'm camera shy, kind of like,
You're gonna have to get used to
yeah,
that.
I know. Alan tells me that all the time, Coach. Within the next year, you got to
have
get
to
used
get
to
used
it,
to that.
And then with my daughter, like, yeah, so.
Yeah, so Lily just mentioned how, boxing is a male-dominated sport. When we think of...
For right now.
When we think of women trainers, we think of Ann Wolf. How does it feel, that baton, like, that the torch is being passed on to you and that you're going to be the trailblazer, for a lot of women that are coming behind you?
That's going to be a tough one to answer. I don't want people to give feedback, like bad feedback or because of what I said. All respects to Ann Wolf, but I don't look up to her as the greatest trainer. I have my own family. They worked with, several great fighters and they made world champions. So I look up to my family members, and with all respects to Ann Wolf, she was a great trainer. She had she did her thing, but I don't believe that she opened the door for me because I've been there for a very long time myself. And like everyone knows, like I was behind somebody's shadow for many years and I'm ready to do my thing now because I don't just have one fighter. I have multiple fighters.
You want to name some of those fighters that you're currently working with? Because, like I
Name
said,
drop.
Bing!
like I said, don't play it down. You got a good stable right now.
You mean like meeting them and boxing wise, or just having them in my stable for like the nutrition and the strength and conditioning and just helping out?
Whichever
Or,
you want to name.
Everything too,
Okay.
because you do it all.
Yeah.
You do it all, so it all should be recognized.
What are some names that you're working with currently, one way or another?
Okay. So I have, of course, everyone knows Roxy, my daughter, right? Hook Roxy. She's taken me around the world. So shout out to my little girl. She's my number one. I have Alan Garcia. Oh, I just took him from the amateurs. He joined me and I signed him. I'm his manager, his trainer. And I just pro debuted him. He got first round TKO.
Shout out to Kansas.
Yeah, he's from Kansas. He lives here in LA right now with me. I was working with Sean Garcia, his nutritionist. And also too, I was, you have video of me working with him, getting him ready for his upcoming fight. He's back home at his stable now with his brother. And I also, for the strength and conditioning, but most part, the nutritionist part, the Balderas brothers, Karlos Balderas and Jose Balderas. And yeah, I'm getting a couple more calls, people coming in wanting to join our camp. So it's
going well.
making noise. It's
going
making
well.
noise, yes.
And then
I also had Nico Hernandez for, I think, like 10 days here or 8 days here. He just fought the bare knuckle. So it was fun working with him. Kid is pretty good. Really good. But
congratulations to Nico. That
Yeah,
was a brutal
congratulations,
fight.
Nico.
Brutal fight. And shout out to Jose Balderas, who I actually watched it on his Instagram live. He had
Oh, I
it
know
on
he
live.
had it on?
Yeah, and I got to watch
Oh, yeah,
it.
yeah.
Because it was like a $5 pay-per-view.
Roxy and Alan, too,
I
yeah.
actually paid for it.
I paid for it, too. Nico, I supported you.
You paid for it?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I forgot what I was going to say.
Are you nervous or am I nervous?
I kind of want to go a little bit more into when we talked to you the first time on Against the Ropes, and you
Shout
were
out to those
talking-
guys.
Yeah. And you were
Yeah.
talking about the Olympic trials and about how I remember your fundraisers and everything you would do just to get
Yeah.
closer to that goal. we've talked about you as, cooking and the trainer and the nutritionist. Now, how about that? The basically creating events so that you can get more funding for your daughter, because that I'm pretty sure does not come easy.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit more about what kind of fundraisers you do. Obviously, your delicious food and how you came about those ideas.
Well, first of all, I have a huge family, so most of the people you see there were just family, But there's support. There's always support there, and they would tell me, like I had to do what I have to do to get my daughter to the next tournament. My fundraisers, if I have to fundraise for, say, December, I'm already fundraising for March too. So I'm 10 steps ahead of myself. Like I have no shadow. The shadow's way behind me because I'm way ahead of myself. So because it's difficult. A lot of people with two parents, they can't get it done. I'm a single mom and I just got it done, and I had to get it done no matter what, whatever it took. It was going to get done, and it's a big challenge, but I love challenges. I'm always up for a good challenge. So yeah, we would, okay, what are we doing? Okay, we're going to sell food. We're going to do car washes. We're going to do mostly barbecues and stuff, and people would show up. She has a great support system. It is hard though. It's difficult because she goes to about 12, 13 tournaments, it's hard. It's really hard. Yeah.
Oh, if you ever need someone to help you wrap the tamales, let me know.
Hey, let's
Yeah.
go.
Or wash cars.
We're down.
Hey, shout out to Gio. He came one time.
Yeah, it was fun actually. It was very fun. I don't know.
Food was good, huh?
The food was good. Music was
He
good.
told you about that. Like, the
Yeah.
food was bomb.
Yeah.
Going back to, I remember my question now. You were talking about the fighters that you're working with. How can people contact you if they want to work with you? How does that work? Are there certain prerequisites, or how does that work for you?
Well, pretty much social media has been a big part of people reaching out to us, and they can reach out to us through our social media, through our going to our messages, and just message us and leave a phone number. We can call you back, and if we feel it's the right fit, that we're the right fit for your athlete, then we can make something work, definitely.
At Coach G Boxing.
Yes, or
Ladies and
Andy
gentlemen.
Elite Smith.
There you go.
Coach, when you're picking a fighter, what are some things that you look for? What are some qualities that you see in a person, in a fighter that you most look for?
The hunger. I forget the talent. The hunger. You got to be hungry. And you could be a person with so much talent. If you're not hungry for the next step, the next level, don't even call us. Don't waste our time. Because I could figure you out in 2 days that you're here. Yeah. It could be a short trip, or it could be a permanent stay. So that's what it takes. Hard work. Show me you're hungry.
What are some of the life lessons that you've learned just being in the boxing game? Maybe one or two that you might want to share with us.
That I learned, I don't know if this makes sense, but don't get too emotional. Don't wear your heart on your sleeve. Don't get too close to the fighters. That's my mistake too. I still do it, and I know, and I just still keep doing it, and I know better, and I do it. So I have a soft heart, because some of them, they want it so bad, but they just can't turn that corner. They're not ready to turn that corner just quite yet, And I'm just there back and pushing them, go, you're almost there. Just don't wear your heart on your sleeve, and always show your fighters that you're always on time, because they learn those good habits. That's one thing that's very valuable to me, is always be on time. Don't be late. Always be on time. Be early. And I was taught if you're on time, you're late.
Yeah.
10, 15 minutes early. And that's what I live by too.
Then I feel bad because I showed up right on
I
time.
know.
Hey.
I have a question for you, Coach G. This one might be a little deeper. You can think about it if you want, but how do you want to be remembered as a boxing trainer when it's all said and done?
Did you buy my plaque already? Am I dying? This is gonna go viral when I'm dead tomorrow. Oh my god! Gio, I was like,
I mean, when you retire from
Oh.
coaching,
When you're in the Hall of Fame 20 years from now.
yeah, I want to be remembered like, wow, this woman was always was in the boxing game, was very quiet. Like they said, boxing's best kept secret. They say that. I just want to just want to make a world champion on my own. I really do. I want to do that, and I want to open the doors for other female trainers, It's really hard. I mean, Ann Wolf is Ann Wolf. Like you mentioned, like she had a great fighter. I'm sure it was hard for her as well, because she was there and all of a sudden she's just gone and no one's really talking about how great of a trainer she was, So I just want to be remembered as one of dedicated woman that knew her craft and that had great fighters, because I walk into every gym and they always tell me, man, you have great fighters. Your fighters you guys always had great fighters. So, I mean, everyone knows me as that, like everyone. Every time I see someone I hadn't seen them in a while, they always tell my fighter, Alan, they're like, man, you're with one of the best. Make sure you recognize that, just stay grounded, So he feels comfortable hearing that all the time, because he's told that time after time after time. So I want to be remembered like that I respected the game and I was good at what I did.
Okay. So, Coach, every time we come in, you're always watching fights. What are some of your favorite?
I'm watching right now, giving the interview. I'm like, oh, did you see that? No.
We've been in other cribs and they're not always watching.
They're watching novelas.
They're watching something else. So, who are some of your favorite fighters?
Oof. Everybody knows it. I like Finito Lopez. I like Marquez Barrera. I like Vinny Pazianza. I like Roberto Duran. I like Melder Taylor. Julio Cesar Chavez, of course. Alexis Aguayo. There's just so many old school fighters. Today's fighters, I really do like Carlos Balderas. I like, Loma. I'm not a big, huge fan, but I just like his footwork. I like Oscar Valdez. I like Earl Spence, Tank Davis. I like Ryan Garcia. I'm a big fan of Ryan Garcia. Without being biased, he's a good friend, but I like Ryan Garcia. Just, Tank Davis. I said that already, right? Crawford. I watch their fights. Yeah.
It's good. It's a good list.
Yeah.
It's a good list. We talked earlier about how, some of the fighters now, like they're a little bit short on that legendary status or that legacy status. What do you feel like they need in this era to be like the Chavez's or the Leonards?
I'm going to get a lot of backlash off of this one. As I said earlier, a lot of these fighters nowadays, oh my God, they're going to piss people off.
Look at it.
But I can handle it. It's just what I think, the boxers are really involved too much with picking and choosing who they want to fight. Like, they make big fights if they make big money. And sometimes it's like, okay, you mentioned you want to fight so-and-so, but you won't fight him until like 5 years later. Like, I just think boxing is a little different now. I mean, there's a lot of talented people out there, but a lot of them, not every single one of them, because there's a lot of them that are going to go down in history as legends, but a lot of them don't make it far enough to be able to hold the title as a legend to me. And I do not want to name certain names, but they're big names, and I just don't believe they're ever going to be a legend in my eyes or in a lot of other people's eyes. They're just going to be good. I remember them, but they're not going to be legends. There's a lot of great fighters out there they were really good fighters, great fighters, and they're not even remembered anymore because they weren't legend status. They didn't have that legendary way they fought, the way they were just there to fight. They respected the game. Yeah.
So besides boxing, what do you do? Or is it just boxing 24/7? There's got to be something else.
Breathe.
I got
boxing.
no life. Besides boxing, I got no life. That's all I do. Sorry.
No boxing, no life.
Sorry.
No boxing, no life.
I'm a single woman with no life. Jeez.
Boxing is life, though.
She's on the market, guys.
No. No more. I'm not kissing any more frogs. No.
I love how fast her reaction was. No.
She's like, nope.
No. Yeah.
Now, how, talking back on your fighters and opening your doors, literally opening your doors to your fighters to, make sure that they are in the right path and that you can fully commit to their growth as fighters. How hard was that to adjust to have, young men around the house when it's just you and your daughter usually, or it's always been you and your daughters. Yeah. So how is that like, now it's like if you have sons too?
We've always been that way. I've always had fighters in my house, so it's nothing new. Like when I was married to my husband, we always had, we had Francisco Vargas, we had Sergey Lipinets, we had Victor Pastillas, we had Pedro Duran, we had all these big names in our house. So my daughter was raised around champions, world champions, and great fighters. So it was nothing new to me. She's also a leader. She has that world championship, that world champions mentality. She is a little spoiled though. They're like, oh God, she's spoiled so much. They tell me, don't spoil her too much, Mom. But I can't help it. She's my baby. But yeah, they see her working hard. So when they see her slacking off, she wasn't on calendar, see her they would say, why you let her slack off? And we working hard, and she'll get there. Just give her time. She's gonna be on calendar. Got a call. Boom. All right, Roxy, you're on calendar. So now she's grinding. She's running. She's running right now with Alan, so it's 9:00 at night. They're still grinding, Yeah.
So we see the many national titles behind you, and it's no secret that you want your daughter to be a world champion one day. How do you envision that day one day? How do you?
I think that's going to be my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal, to see my daughter. It's funny that you said that, because I got a phone call yesterday and I told you you're on calendar now. She got a message right after and it said, your mom didn't work this hard. Your mom didn't work this hard. Something about being great, So she came out and told me, Mom, I just got this message, and she knows I work hard for her, and that'll be very satisfying, once I make her into a world champion, So that'll be great. That'll be crazy. I already took her to world championships, and there's this. I'll tell you a really interesting story. I was told about 2.5 years ago. We were at nationals, an open tournament, youth open, and this was to make the team for Team USA to go travel around the world to fight at the world championships. And we had a little discussion, me and my ex-husband, and it was got a little wavy. And someone told me, I'll never forget these words. They said, all due respect, I mean, you're a trainer, your family, they do kickboxing, whatever, but your daughter's not going to the next level without him. And I looked at him like, wow, okay. And 8 months later, we went to World Championships and won the gold medal. It was a challenge to me. And I said, I worked very hard. Day and night. And I made sure I went to Europe with her, and I trained her and I coached her, snuck in her room. Oh my God, USA Boxing going to see this. Snuck in her room, trained her, made her make the weight, and she wins the gold medal. So that was satisfying for me, because a man told me that I was never going to be able to get my daughter to the next level. And I just I let out a little smirk okay. I said, I'm glad you feel that way. So it just raised the bar for me. And I was confident in myself. I never doubted myself. I never doubted my daughter. And we're doing it. And we made it all the way to the trials.
Yeah. I know.
Goosebumps.
I asked that question because we previously had somebody that said that they dreamt that their fighter, was going to become a champion, and then that happened. Mm-hmm. And so I just imagine that, one day that you're going to be raising, her hand next to a rep, and I know it's going to happen. You guys keep that work ethic going.
Yeah.
You guys can do it.
If you look at her documentary, it's called Roxy's Short Doc. Did you guys see that documentary yet?
Yeah.
Okay, you saw when she says, I had a dream that had a gold medal around my neck. She was 14 years old right there. 2 years later, and it said rewind, she wins the gold medal. Yeah. And she said, I had a dream that had a gold medal around my neck. But it was a funny dream, something like I was fighting a bear. I woke up and we fought Kazakhstan, and that's what they ripped, the bear. So it was just manifesting, and just believing in your hard work. And no one's going to wake up. We look at people's Instagram, they're barely getting to do their run at 5 o'clock at night. They're at the gym at 12, 4 o'clock. we were running in mountains at 4:50 in the morning, 29-degree
A lot
weather.
of fighters like that.
Yeah.
They'll show up like
So-
at 2 p.m.
Yeah, no, and we were at the gym 9:30 in the morning, you know, and I wake her up, she eat breakfast at 5 in the morning, hit that mountain, you know. So we did a lot of sacrifice. We did a lot of training, a lot of work. We went far. We went far.
Where does that discipline come from? From you? Who did you learn it from?
My grandmother. My grandma, when all my uncles and aunts, our family were fighting, she had a house full of 15 kids, 20 kids. And it was like clockwork. Like she was very, very structured. Very structured. And so that's where I got it from. That structure and that, you know, that hard work and that dedication was from her. She was such a leader, you know. So, and then to just push my family to their highest limits, and they became legends, you know. So, and it was all because of my grandmother's hard work. So I learned a lot from her. Very strong woman, raised 11 kids on her own. Yeah. Yeah.
Got me here. You got like.
Yeah. You're gonna make me cry.
So I think of my grandma and I think of my mom. You know, she was a single mom for many, many years. You know, and so I know it's not easy. I know like everything that they do they forget about like their dating life. They forget about you know everything just to give everything for your kids. So I want to commend you for the hard work you do because
Thank you.
we don't see other even men trainers like you do like Gio said, you go above and beyond to you know make it as you know all they have to do is bring that hunger and that work ethic, and you pretty much make it easy for you know for everything else. I think me and Gio joked. I was like, man, she got all that food. Like we better join camp too. We jokingly say that, but no, I just want to commend you. I just know that keep up that work ethic, Coach Gloria, and
Thank you.
those fruits are gonna reveal themselves in the years to come.
I have
Thank you.
to agree with Chris like 100%. Not only because we mentioned that like you do it all, literally you are every role you can be to these fighters, and not only to your daughter. And I commend Roxy as well too because I'd be jealous as hell. I'd be like, who are this is my mom, like you know, like you said, you can't just treat her like nicely, like here's breakfast, and then the other fighters, oh well, you know, you're on your own. So I commend her for that as well. But as a single mother myself, and seeing how, yes, you're a single mother to your daughters, but then seeing how you're basically a mother to these guys. You're basically a single mother to 5 grown, you know, what are they? Grown-ass men in their early 20s, right? So for that makes me feel such, like, high admiration for you as a mother, as a trainer, as literally just a person as well, because of everything you are accomplishing this far. But also, holy shit, it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning with all your fighters. And I think we can all recognize your hard work. And now teaming up with another great force and Andy Aguilar. Damn, I'm pretty sure I can speak for all of us when we say we're fucking excited to see what you guys are going to do and the dent you guys are going to put into the boxing game.
Thank you.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see it all develop.
Yeah. For my question will be, what are some of your short-term goals, maybe in a year or two? Where do you see yourself and some of your fighters?
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to keep doing what I do, and I don't have short-term goals. I just want to keep doing what I do every day. I do every day. You know, I don't expect people to win me a world title within a year, because we all know that's impossible. My daughter's not even pro yet. Alan has 1 fight, you know, but I just want to keep doing what I do and be good at it and better myself every single day, you know, and I mean, a lot of people look at me, oh, but you're perfect, you're so structured. I'm like, no, there's times where you burn water. No, I don't know if that's possible, but hey, you burn water, you know. It's like, I mean, extra salt to, you know, your food or what, you know. I just want to better myself every day and show leadership to these kids and show them dedication, where it all comes from. And I tell everybody the same story. We had great stable fighters, but not everyone made it. They weren't hungry enough. They were full, you know. They fed on with the silver spoon, you know. And the ones that did become world champions, they were from different countries, didn't speak any English at all. Meaning they didn't know anybody here. They didn't want to I'm going to go out. I'm going to do it. They were just dedicated. There's this one, shout out to him, Alvarez Rodriguez. Alvarez, right?
Elvis Rodriguez from República Dominicana, right?
Yeah, the second time I saw that kid, I said, that kid's going to be world champion.
There's a guy that's always calling out Ryan, huh?
He's the
Yeah, he's a dog. Like he's got it. He's got it. He just fought and he's already in the gym. Every time he fights on a Friday, he's in the gym on Monday. You know, that shows you right there dedication, and he's a great fighter. I mean, I just tell people, just stay hungry. I want to teach them how to be hungry. You know, just stay hungry, just stay dedicated. You know, it's not possible that my daughter is more hungry than you guys. Like, she has to show you hunger, and she's hungry. The minute I told her, boom, you're fighting, boom, she's just like threw on her gear. Let's go to the gym. You know, and so that's all I want to do. Those are my goals. And when I get there, people's gonna remember my name.
Hey, let's go. That's what I like to hear.
Dude, like I was gonna tell you is like I want to hear her predictions now more, because the Choncepeda fight prediction that was on point. Like I want you to have your moment bragging about that for a little bit, but also now I'm more intrigued to hear your other predictions too for the upcoming fights.
I thought you were gonna mention his name, by the way, from your current favorite fighters. I was waiting for it.
Choncepeda.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say it, but yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Choncepeda. Just a huge fan of his. I mean, since day one, I saw him. This was years ago. He fought on one of our cards. He was one of the undercards. I just couldn't help myself. I just kept staring at this young kid. I was like, God, that kid has the most amazing footwork. And Mexicano, you know, like, he's smooth with it, you know, and I just always liked. I don't know about that, but let's not get out of the boxing subject. Right? Let's stay on the boxing track.
Okay, boxing in the ring.
Look who came in.
Hey, girl, you want a
Yeah.
cameo?
working.
Roxy's in the building. Alan's in the building here in the background.
There you go.
Getting that
You look
work
like
in.
a tomato.
Getting that work in. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have them on in a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to clean
so
up.
dry up.
You could do
Clean
a
up.
studio appearance.
I
Yeah.
tried to steal water.
Don't, not right now. Oh,
Where's the water?
they're not here yet.
What are we talking about?
Yes. Rinse more than anything. Weigh yourself before you drink water. Just rinse.
Ah! I need my water.
Now you guys did 30 minutes.
That was 49.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Your timer's wrong.
Look at,
Huh?
you know me better than that kid. Look,
I was
mira,
40.
mira.
Well, I can't time. We went all the way freaking downtown Puerto Rico back, so obviously I don't know, 40, 30.
All right.
Nothing gets past Coach Gloria.
No,
Shoot.
nothing is past.
All right, but Lily, you were asking about, you're intrigued to hear Coach G's predictions, right?
Yes.
There are some huge fights going on
Huge
this
fucking
weekend, Saturday on ESPN. Let's just jump straight into the main event, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vasily Lomachenko against Teofimo Lopez.
Lopez.
Man, you're gonna put me on the spot. Okay. Here's the way I can see it. I think Dale's gonna pull it off. I think he's gonna be able to cut the ring. He paid attention to Loma, seeing the way he turns and he turns and he turns those small turns and he comes from an angle. I think Dale turns with him, and I just think he sneaks in too many right hands and catches him, and he's gonna be able to close the gap and just catch him, you know. And I've seen him get smothered when Salido fought him and beat him. He doesn't like that kind of fight, rough, rugged fighting. Of course, now he has more experience. How many fights does he have? Like 13, 15?
14, 15.
They
Yeah,
both have
so-
around 15, right?
I mean, the gold medals, and I understand all that, and the age, and the, you know, and then again, there's the age. He's a little older, you know. He has great work ethic, though. That man's amazing. So I think if he can pull it off, close the gap, and keep turning with them, and getting those body shots and come over the top with the right hand, I think he can get him. Because I did see him get dropped by Leonard too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and Dale is very strong, and it can go the other way around too, right? It can go where
Boxing lesson.
Dale just follows him
Boxing
and runs
clinic.
into everything, you know, just following him, trying to be too aggressive because he wants to win so bad and just lose it. But I think Dale's gonna He's gonna win.
Teofimo Lopez. Lily, what do you think?
I think I agree with her in the way that I know we've talked about it at home too.
Yeah.
The two most likely outcomes is either, Teofimo's going to catch Lomachenko one of those right hands and put him on the canvas and possibly stop him, or we're just gonna be seeing Garcia versus Usyk all over again, where we know the guy has a power and can end it any second, but it's just not gonna happen because you gotta hit him first. Now, Lomachenko does have the disadvantages of size. I don't think he should be at 135, period.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think he should be there. And we've seen it that, yes, he's won, but he's gotten, tagged more than he had in his previous fights. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest factor here. But it depends on whether, again, if Teofimo can stay calm and not frustrated and keep his eye on becoming, kind of cutting the ring like Coach said, cutting off the ring, just focus on that and not get frustrated. If he gets frustrated early, he loses. That's it. And if I'd be surprised if it goes a distance and Teofimo wins. I think it's gonna either be a boxing lesson or Teofimo is his time and he's gonna put Loma on his butt.
I don't think Loma can get careless on his offense, like throw too many punches with Teofimo, because Teofimo will get that.
He's got the longer reach, yeah.
And he's got the power. So you got a little guy coming up.
He's got to come real close to land.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a very compelling fight. Because
Interesting.
of all those points, man. The power, the size of Teofimo. Obviously, Lomachenko's a better boxer. My prediction is Lomachenko, but I would not be surprised if he gets hurt in this fight.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't hold it against him. I would just be like, bro, go back down to 130, 136.
It happens.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, oh, you are exposed. We expose you, poser, or I would just be like, okay, bro, you learned your lesson. You got hit by the bigger dude. Now go down. Same with if Teofimo loses. If he gets outboxed, I'd just be like, okay, doesn't mean this kid is not gonna be champion once again.
Like in Mikey.
Kid is just
Mikey Garcia with Errol Spence.
I feel like this guy's just gonna, he's gonna, regardless if he were to lose to Lomachenko, I don't think there's any shame in losing to Lomachenko.
They better
He's
keep
young.
the same energy because when Lomachenko beat Rigondeaux, a lot of people said, no, he was too small.
Yeah. But even Lomachenko said it himself. He's like, he's not his weight class.
Yeah, but it's still a good name.
Yeah.
I still think Lomachenko he's a once in a era fighter. I mean, what he's done to all these other guys, this guy has a speed, and Gary Russell, this guy has power, and
Jonathan Walters.
They all have something, and he's been able to figure
The
it out.
Axeman.
Yeah, the Axeman. So
Jamaican guy, right?
I think he's just once in an era fighter, and like Lily said, like you can't. I think Teofimo's gonna just get better from this fight. He's going up against one of the very best. You have nothing to lose. But like you mentioned, he's got that power, bigger in size. Yeah. I would not like to see Lomachenko lose.
Give it to him, man. You have to give it to Teofimo for being that dude. That's like, this is a number one power fight. Throw him at me. Yeah. Like you don't really see that these days. Not even with bigger fighters now, smaller.
Going
fighters,
back
right?
to what I said, like a lot of people don't. They don't take the risk.
Yeah.
And I give Dale Sorry, Theo, if you hear this, if this goes viral, but I'm so sorry. I'm not a fan of Teofimo Lopez, first of all. But he's earned the respect.
You got to recognize.
When I saw him, they signed that contract, I was like, shit. I give him respect,
For sure.
So now I'm like, okay, I'm interested now.
He just got the title.
Yeah.
I mean, it was his last fight, right, against Comey. Right? And yes, these, we got to talk about how the coronavirus, an activity might play in effect.
No, but that's a big fight after the corona. He's doing it. He's doing it.
Exactly. He did that in the corona times. And he didn't even, I'm going to have a little 3-4 cupcake title defense. Look how many title defense Munguia had. Look how many title defenses Gary Russell has had. Goddamn. Not one.
Is he still fighting?
Fights once a year.
So
no, once every 2 years.
For Teofimo, who, a lot of people always want to hang on to the title a little bit longer before they kind of really put themselves
and look at Leo Santa Cruz too.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
Those guys right there are going to be remembered. Wow, look at the fights they took.
I think those are two fights where I don't see anybody losing, regardless of the outcome, Lomachenko, Teofimo, or Gervonta Davis or Leo Santa Cruz, because they're losing to
bigger
the
guys.
Next guy, the next 1 and 2. They're 1 and 2. So
that's a great point to make, Joe. That's a great point to make because it's both. Yes, the bigger guy, but it's also, as you call it, it's the guy that's already been 3 division world champion, or Leo, I think is 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 4 times.
But it's guys who've been multiple weight divisions, and they're kind of, okay, I'm now passing the torch over to you. Or yes, I'm going to still keep fighting if I lose, but now it's kind of your era now, you know, it's your time now.
And then
So
also
that's
you
a
got to
great
give
point.
them credit
That's a
for
great
testing
point.
the waters. Let's see how high I can go. A lot of guys would just stop.
Yeah.
You know, they won't take that extra leap, you know, like Leo's doing, like Loma's doing at 35. I agree with you 100%. I think it should be at 30.
Yeah.
Right? At 35, he looks too small, but I hope he pulls it off.
I think he just always shows us that he's so freaking good. I forget every single time I'm watching a Loma fight, I'm like, this motherfucker, I'm like, God, this guy is
so
like
good.
the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, because
And like you said, Coach G, like he comes at these angles where he steps out and then like you look and he's like over there.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of like the Dragon Ball Z battle. Like when he just pops up over here. Dead ass, like that's what he reminds me of. And just the other night, right now ESPN, I think is doing pretty good promoting it because last night I mean it's kind of late, you know, but I'm writing and I turn around and there's Lomachenko or Teofimo fights.
Yeah.
Like before I came over here, Teofimo was fighting.
Yeah, they
on
got more
ESPN.
coverage than the Leo
Yes.
and Tank.
yeah, for sure.
Like
You
they're
know,
getting, and every other thing, you know, on ESPN they have the little promo video, right?
Shout out to Top Rank.
Yes.
Shout out to Top Rank.
Instagram,
So Top
Twitter,
Rank
everywhere.
is doing it with this, and
Yeah.
I do appreciate that because this
Yeah.
fight people need to see. Even if you're a casual, you got to see this because okay, like as we say in the event that it is a boxing clinic, I enjoy myself some boxing clinics. Like I still watch Usyk versus Garcia sometimes. Like I'll just put it on YouTube because it's so it's just. Like damn, because we knew like we could be at the edge of our seats because Garcia could just end it any moment. But
Shout out to
Usyk
Tyson
just-
Fury.
Shout out to Chon Cepeda.
Right.
That was a good fight.
There you go. And man, like Top Rank is doing pretty good. Every time I see that it's fighting, and I was watching Lomachenko's fight with Luke Campbell, who gave Lomachenko a really good fight, regardless of losing the round. Doesn't mean they weren't competitive rounds. So I'm like, dang, this guy is big. Luke Campbell's a bigger guy.
So let me ask you this: now that we're talking about these guys taking big fights, what do you think about the Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell?
Ooh.
Come on now.
I've said it
He
many
said it
times
many
on this
times.
podcast. I think Ryan knocks Luke
Gonna
Campbell
knock him
out.
He's
That
gonna knock
would
him
be
out.
such a huge statement because Luke Campbell has never been knocked out. He's been knocked down by Linares. He got knocked down by Lomachenko, but nothing that's like, oh, he's hurt, wobbled, he's almost over.
Yeah.
Never that. He's been hurt to the body where you could see him be up like, but he's never been severely hurt or wobbled or stunned to the point where, oh, you got to give him a lot of time to recover.
Until December 5th.
And now, if Ryan were to make that statement, that's huge.
And
That
Brian's-
sends a huge message to the
Yeah.
the division. But also, I got to give it to Ryan because a lot of times I myself was like, he's not gonna take this fight.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just gonna, I don't think he's gonna fight Luke Campbell. And I know Gio's sentiments of, oh, this guy's a British guy. He's gonna get, he's not as
Shout
good
out to
as
you British fans.
he's not as good as the fans make it seem, but he's good enough to that people gave him respect against Lomachenko even
for
in
sure.
defeat,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he's a former Olympian, so you gotta give him that. And again, he's never been knocked out.
Yeah.
Never been knocked out. And for Ryan, if he comes in and makes a statement, I think it's gonna be amazing, and it's gonna be more of a measuring stick for people to be like, well, who else in that did that to Luke Campbell? And a lot of people are obviously gonna say that, whatever,
Yeah.
just another bum or
Lucky
kind of
punch.
soup, right? Lucky punch.
Third
but
in a row, lucky punch.
it depends. I think that with this name, I think we gotta start giving Ryan some credit. Should he do a tremendous victory like that?
Because Ryan's
Overrated.
been planning out, he's been planning out all the guys that were supposed to give him some challenge. All the guys that he's fought the last 3 fights.
I'll tell you what, when that happens and you can air it, this was her prediction.
Okay.
See, what I would like to, I would still like for it to be competitive at least for a couple rounds. Would I be surprised if Ryan does them a Duno? I won't be surprised, honestly, because it's that speed. Like I wouldn't
He's gonna
be
get
surprised.
careless on his offense.
Yeah,
He's gonna
I
jump
wouldn't.
into
I
left
wouldn't
hook.
be. Yeah, and we saw Luke Campbell be extremely aggressive, come forward with Lomachenko. So I feel like if he tries to play this with Ryan, and as we see that, as soon as they come forward, bam, they're done, right? Because they're aggressively coming forward and they catch themselves in that way. But it would be fun to see a nice competitive match as well, and then him come on top because it shows that he's adapting and it shows that he will adapt and not just getting what those people always. They're gonna talk regardless, but if he gets around, it's just because that's it. But wait until one person can take his power. Then it's so if it's competitive at least a little bit to where as it was with Lomachenko, and then Ryan delivers a magnificent knockout, then I feel like it would be like
What do you think?
10
Christian?
times.
I think it's gonna go more rounds than we expect. I think Luke Campbell is gonna test him a little bit. I think the Fonseca is the one that's had the most experience, and I mean he got bland, but I think Luke Campbell's gonna use his length. He's a tall guy. He's got a good
I
reach.
think it goes 2 rounds.
2 rounds.
It doesn't pass 4.
Okay, I think it goes a little bit more. I think it goes at least.
I think it goes-
It doesn't go
I do
past
believe
4.
Ryan is gonna. I think he's gonna hurt him, but I think it's gonna go more like 5-6 rounds.
I think it's like 6-7.
Because I think Luke is.
I think in the later rounds, Luke is a dog, but
Luke
with the theory of the British.
Yeah, I was gonna say like who's he fought? Like he got dropped by Leonard.
Linares
Beat up
and
by,
Lomachenko.
Yeah, I think he fought a very disciplined fight against.
And he only
Against
has what?
Lomachenko.
He's not in the 20s as far as fights, right?
No.
What is
No.
he? Well, I think he's 20-0.
He's close
Right?
to that.
Ryan is 20-0.
Yeah.
Luke Campbell as well,
Luke
right?
Campbell. Oh, they're both.
I believe
They're
They're
around that,
both
20-0.
20-0, and then
Yeah.
Ryan has one more knockout victory than him at 16. I
Yeah.
think,
The reason I predict the knockout is because even Coach G, you mentioned it before, that you work on the same or similar punches every single time, right? Repetition. And I see he's been doing that a lot with the Canelo
Yes.
team and with his father,
Muscle
Henry.
memory. Yeah.
And the last 2 knockouts,
The same.
Left hook. Left hook.
I mean,
What do you hit the southpaws with? The right hand or the left hook?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
what
can't
I
see it
believe,
coming.
man.
Yeah.
Let us know what you guys think in the comment section, but I'm going with knockout. These guys are
going
saying
No, I'm
later
go- I'm
rounds.
go-
Coach G's saying
I'm
2
go-
rounds or something
It
like
doesn't
that.
pass
early.
four.
What are you
It doesn't
saying,
pass 4
Jim?
rounds.
Which one's yours, Jim?
He may
I
let
don't
him.
know rounds.
He
I
may
don't
let
know
him
rounds, but-
dance around, show his shoes off in a little outfit, never look all cute. That's it. Ryan don't get.
Yeah.
He wants to go to his after party. Let's go.
After party looking clean.
Yeah, I think the last fight that Ryan had trouble was like the Solution Morales, and after that,
And that was before he
especially-
wasn't with Eddie yet.
No, not yet. Once
No.
he joined Eddie's team, it's another level. So
All right, so that's Ryan. But there's a great undercard too on the Lomachenko Teofimo Lopez, Alex Salcedo against Arnold Barboza Jr. You guys want to talk about that, G? I know you.
Let's let Coach G take.
I know you got a favor on this one.
I think Alex Salcedo. I think he has the
Sure,
edge on
no.
this. Yeah, I just think he's powerful. He likes a dogfight. He likes to stay in the pocket. He likes to come on, let's go. And I just think he's more powerful. And if you're gonna try to be a boxer out there and you don't have that power to hold someone like that back, it can be dangerous. You know,
Good points. Good points. Good
tight
points.
defense and just was he like only 1 loss? or
Yeah,
whatever?
30-1.
30-1.
And that was a dog,
Dog fight.
Dog
fight,
fight.
dude.
Who did he lose
Yeah.
to? I don't remember.
Hooker, no?
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's
he
right.
has two-
He lost to Hooker.
No, yeah, that
He
was
has one
that's
loss.
Yes,
two
yes,
Hooker,
yes.
yeah.
That was a dog fight. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was
Came up
oh,
short.
that was such a good fight. I'm gonna go home and watch that shit.
Yeah, I don't think Salcedo has the best defense. I think he's
That's
there to
what
be
he's-
tagged. I think he's there to be tagged, and I think not just being biased because we had Barbosa on.
I'm gonna be biased.
I think he's just a better boxer. I think it comes down. I think it comes down to
Is that off the record?
That's on the record. I'm saying
I
it
think
right
he's
now.
gonna-
But I believe in them. So
Yeah, I believe in it too. I think it's gonna come down to who fights whose fight. If it's a record fight, it's gonna favor.
Also,
Salcedo.
Barbosa has been very busy, especially
Very
right
busy.
now in COVID bubble times.
Yeah,
He's been busy, so I think it has a lot to do too with activity and activity to fight. Because
Yeah.
it's cool to go to the gym and stuff, but when you're preparing for a fight, I feel like there's a little extra gas
Yeah.
that goes into the pedal, right? That's a hard one. I think it depends on if Barbosa can take the pressure. It's not much about power, the pressure, how you respond to. Cholo just comes at you. He's a fucking dog. Like,
Yeah.
because I think Barbosa's power is gonna surprise people. He has 3 knockouts in a row. He knocked out 3 pretty respectable opponents. We had him on our podcast a couple times, and we asked him that because at the time he only had 7 knockouts and almost 21 wins, I believe.
Yeah.
And he said it was a hand injury, and we're just
I was
like,
just gonna say that.
okay.
I was like,
how
yeah.
convenient.
And then after the surgery, after the hand thing, he's been knocking everybody out. And
Did they put a rod in his thing or did they steal? I gotta get that checked there.
Yeah, freaking metal
Whatever
in
it
between his
was.
knuckles.
whatever it was, it's been working. I feel like he can just do more than Salcedo. I feel like he can box and he can punch, But I think whoever wins, they're gonna have to earn it. Like,
Oh, yeah,
I think it's
sure.
gonna be a tremendous fight.
The thing with these two fighters, these are guys that are just like right there, kind of like Chon was. Like they're just the 3 and 4 guys. They're itching for that. One of them's gonna stay. One of them's gonna take that next leap. And we've had the Barbosa on, and we know how frustrating it's been. You know, he got that big win against who's our boy that beat Marquez? Alvarado.
He didn't beat Marquez.
No,
He lost to Marquez.
He lost to
but
Marquez.
He fought him. Yeah.
But that big win against
Knocked him
Alvarado,
out.
and that should have pushed him, to a title shot, but it didn't. And so I can tell Salcedo's on the same fight where he's like just there. He lost to Hooker, but he's right there itching for that title shot.
Hooker's
And so,
a good name. The big name is a big name. So
like,
respected boxer.
I agree with you. Whoever wins this one's gonna have to earn it.
I believe in that Mamba mentality, man.
I was gonna say
Arnold got that.
So who
They
you
got no-
got? Arnold.
Yeah, no.
You got Arnold.
Yeah, I got Arnold. I'm being a little biased. I'm gonna be honest, but I think he's gonna pull it off.
Okay, so I'm the only one that has.
Given the record and on record of her predictions being like spot on, I think I'm gonna have to side with Mama G on this one.
Bang!
It's close.
Should be interesting.
I definitely have it 55.
2 and 2.
There you go.
Y'all can talk shit about us if we're wrong. Right? If they're wrong, leave them alone. Right.
He's just been
There
schooled.
we go.
All right, and then do you guys think Edgar Berlanga can keep that 14-0, that first round knockout streak? He's won every fight by first
think so.
round knockout.
I think so. He's got
3 minutes.
fight.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
I just believe in that guy's a dog. Like
He's powerful.
he's powerful. And, they're putting better opposition in front of him, better opponents, but it's still not that at that level where they can defend themselves against his power yet.
Yeah,
you
that's the
know?
thing. I haven't looked at his opponent, but
I haven't looked at him either.
I heard he's pretty good.
Yeah.
But let me check these Instagram polls because I know a lot of people were active on these.
Yeah.
68% so far say Loma over Teofimo.
I had the female on that.
73% are saying Arnold Barboza.
I was
That just means we know a lot.
I
of
was the
his
other
friends.
way.
I know a lot of his
27. I was the
followers.
27% that said
Yeah, you were one of the few. And then 63% think Berlanga will keep that
that's me right
that
there.
first round KO streak, man.
I think so.
I love you guys' polls.
What do you think about the Leo Santa Cruz tank? What's your prediction?
Oh, that one's tough.
I'm going with Leo all the way.
I'm going with Leo because he's got a lot of extra in his tank, and like I
Tank.
said, Tank's gonna half his camp was losing weight, so
Yeah.
you know
Say how you said it on the interview, though.
Yeah.
he's Jenny Craig in it, and Leo is like he's in tremendous shape, and I mean if he can throw volumes of punches and not get caught with that one little punch, take that little half step, and just turn off to the sides. Just a little half step is all what he needs and catch him coming in. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Tank, I love Tank,
Yeah.
but it's going to be challenging for him because Leo only has one loss, and that was a good loss.
That
It
was
was
a war,
there is a
yeah.
war,
Close as
and he
hell.
came back and he did the job and he got it done again. So Tank doesn't have any losses, but Leo stays in the gym. And Tank stay in Vegas, or whatever, and then the buffets.
Well, that's what I was going to mention about Barboza. He's been in a Big Bear for the past 2 months. Barboza. He's been in his own little bubble, so that's why I believe too. But for what it's worth, Roxy voted for Loma and Andy as well.
That's her favorite
Andy as
fighter.
well. Andy voted for Loma as well. And our guy Javion, shout out to him.
Oh my God.
Roxy, go to bed. You're grounded.
It's correct me.
I've always said conditioning is like, you do the work in the gym. Conditioning is like almost everything, like in a way. They push the fight for a reason. They push the fights because trying to buy Tank some time.
I think so too. I don't think that's a
okay.
coincidence.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure the UFC rating thing with ratings did have something to do with it.
Yeah.
But most definitely because on the record, I don't care. I've been around the gyms and I know when these things happen, and I know when trainers are telling the managers are telling the trainer, you know what? No, we're not. Or the other way around. Trainers are telling the managers he's not gonna be on weight by then.
Yeah.
I've heard of people telling fighters that they're fighting a certain date just so they could be ready, and then later be like, oh, well, your date is actually this day. They moved it.
Yes.
No, it's always been that date,
Yeah.
but they didn't believe the fighter could make the weight.
Yeah.
So from what I've seen personally in gyms and how this goes and it happens, I wouldn't doubt it if that is also a reason. I mean, he looked good. He posted that picture, looking like ripped and stuff. But
Yeah.
But,
It might have
it's
been
not
an
on
okay-
weight. Being
shout
ripped
out,
is
shout
not on
out
weight.
to the iPhone. Was it the iPhone 11 X? Those are some great cameras.
Yeah, seem like the
Those are
Mexican
really
shirts
good.
with the abs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, you put one of those on.
And then just to interrupt real quick, going back to the polls, our guy El Maestro Murataya, he thinks he voted for Salcedo as well.
that's
There was only 5 people who voted for Salcedo, so
Well, let me
Come
not
on,
make it 6.
Salcedo. There you go. Come on, Alex. Come on.
The Ray was doing some sparring with Salcedo, so we had him
that's
ready.
true.
So
That's true.
yeah, it's Team Salcedo.
But yeah, I'm gonna pick Leo Santa Cruz.
Okay.
I think his chin will be tested, but
Has he ever been
Tank-
dropped?
no, he has not. I don't
There you
believe
go.
he has.
Because he pulls away from the punches. He's always stepping back.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't
My
give him
only
that full
concern
leverage.
is a little thing.
Yeah.
I feel like if Tank times him,
Because
because he's like,
does he still do it? I don't think
yes, he
Yes.
still does
He
it.
does it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He has like a little like
Yeah.
tick. It's
Did
like
you guys ever
OCD.
hear why he does that? He said it early on in his career. I don't know if it was in the amateurs. They used to tighten up his gloves really tight,
Oh,
so he
so
would
it's
try
like
to
he
loosen it
couldn't-
up, and it just became a habit.
Like
that-
no circulation.
You know, it's funny. Alan has the same tick.
yeah.
He goes like this to his glove.
I know some people do it like to reset after the
Like
punch.
he
Yeah.
does it like all the time.
all the time.
You know what Roxy does?
Like-
She does this to her nose when she's fighting. Like that. I don't know why. It's like, why do you do that, Bruce Lee? She's just always like that.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, that should be very, very interesting. I'm gonna go with Leo and as well because Gervonta.
So you saw him working with Andy. That's why you cheater.
But
That's
Tank
cool.
sometimes does not convince me like his last fight against Gamboa. So I hope Leo can pull it off. I really hope
Yeah,
so.
and Gamboa took him to deep waters, and I think they, maybe should have let him finish the round, But I just think he hasn't had a fighter in front of him like Leo. If he had trouble with Gamboa, can you imagine Leo? Volume
Yeah.
puncher, always moving, takes away from your punch, stepping back, turning on angles. He throws a shitload of punches.
Yeah.
Andy said it right.
He said 150 to 200 punches per round. Per round. You heard it here.
Damn, that's a lot.
I've
That's a
seen
lot of
I've
punches.
seen the way he's working, guys. So
Yeah.
side
And
bets.
look how he talked. Look how he talked about the Chon Cepeda fight, and how he described it. He said, yes, maybe he'll decide he can take that power and then go and make it
That's a
a
good
big
point.
fight, right?
Yeah.
He said that. He literally said, oh, he might box or he might be able I could take that power. And yeah, he got dropped 4 times, but he still took the power.
Five.
and
Wasn't it
got up.
5?
Five.
He got 5 times.
I believe it was 4.
I think
Oh, it's
it
4?
I think
I
both
think
of
it
them
was-
were 4.
They
It was
said
4.
four. Yeah,
It's
4,
4
yeah.
and 4. I counted
Okay.
them.
One was a slip.
I
but it
was
still
that fight
kinda
like
Oh no,
times.
the Russian guy got dropped when they didn't count that.
They didn't count that
twisted
one.
it
Yeah,
up.
that was
Yeah.
I still watched the replay on the
Yeah, I got home and I was like, I was at the beach like I told, and then I got home and like I need to watch this shit again. And then the next day they posted on regular ESPN and I watched it again. I'm like, no, imagine this fight had been like on regular ESPN primetime.
Right.
Yo, like those are the fights that get fans like, oh.
Who went
what?
back to the
Let's do this.
podcast and like, oh my god, the prediction was like on point. In
Oh,
regular
a guy on Twitter, like some guy on Twitter that listens to Against the
Yeah.
Ropes as well. He actually
So
he knows
the-
Andy from their podcast. So he's like, dang, he's like his what was the exact word he used? Something about like, oh, it was like spot on, but he used a certain term, like almost like a prophecy.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, oh, it was like he was spot on. It was like
That's like a
a
nickname.
prophecy. He's like he would take his power and then come back and knock him out. And I'm like, that was her that
You know
also
the
said.
part that gave me chills is when Andy said, "We've been working on his legs," and then he
Yes.
described some scientific stuff that
Yes.
I didn't understand. But then he said, "Every punch will hurt
Yeah.
Ivan."
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, like when the commentators.
And he said the same thing about Tank with
Yeah, yeah.
Leo. He's like, we're training
Yes.
him to, to hurt him with those volume punches.
When I was watching the fight, and the commentator said like, "Oh, Chon just." Obviously, you see the power in Baranchik in the early rounds. You see that power, but then the commentators say he's just taking the punches better. Yes, they've
Yeah.
been dropped both, but
Shout out
his
to
legs,
Timmy.
his legs just look better.
Timothy
more.
Bradley.
And I was like,
Doing the damn thing.
I was like really like thinking about like what Andy said. I'm like, damn, if only Timmy knew.
And you know what?
It's crazy.
Yeah, if only Timmy knew, and if only Andy could get a shout out for that.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of them don't know his name and don't know all the work that goes in behind the scenes. And yeah, like, I would have loved for Andy or any other trainer who's kind of working behind the scenes and doesn't get all that recognition to get that recognition on national television.
Yeah,
Some
because
respect.
Yeah.
the way he folded Baranchik, like it seemed like
Dude.
a
Yeah.
you know
That was
regular punch, but the
brutal.
way it landed, like in the way
His legs were able to
Oh.
absorb all the power,
Yeah.
like from Baranchik.
and that's the accumulation of punches, and that was just like that cherry on top. But I was like, man. So based on that, you always fear the Tank power, but based on what we know what's going on behind the scenes, I'm gonna favor Leo too.
Man, you heard it here first.
I just think it's gonna be a lot of punches thrown, and a lot of catching. Face is gonna catch everything, and I don't know if you're able to break your waist, and possibly be able to miss 20 punches coming at you. It's gonna be hard to do.
I feel like he knows. Like Coach Andy also through the perspective, like you said, as we call it, the scientific shit behind it. He knows that okay, maybe Tank has the power, but when you are smothering someone with that much volume punching, it's kind of a thing to know that you have the advantage when you are, having that sort of volume, So I'm just excited to see it.
I'm excited to see this fight. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go against you guys. I think I have Tank.
Okay.
I think simply because Leo started at 126, did he not?
Oh, yeah.
So that's the only part that I'm like, oh, and it makes like I will cry if Leo gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll be so sad, because Leo is such a guy that you tell him, hey, fight this guy. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather him had fought Gary Russell because Gary Russell, it's more of a they're both not knockout artist guys. It's more of
guys.
craft, and it would be more of the speed versus the volume punching.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with this one, I think it's just the size, and I wouldn't be surprised if Leo pulls it off. I wouldn't be, because again we've seen the preparation. But with this one, I feel like Tank is big. And I feel like if he doesn't make weight, he's going to capitalize on that because they're going to fight regardless.
Yeah.
Leo's
But-
not going to fight. He's not going to step away from the fight.
Also, Tank doesn't have fast feet. Leo has fast
And
feet.
he's shorter too.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
Leo,
bigger
that's what I was getting to.
physically,
Leo's a
but-
taller guy, so
You
he
know
can
what's-
handle the 130.
What's funny too, to me, every time I picture Tank, whenever what I picture is
The
that
cartoon?
picture
The
where he's
Cabbage Patch?
on the phone
With his turtleneck.
and he has he has a white t-shirt and he's on the phone and someone took it, you could tell they were doing him dirty because they took it from a weird angle and it looks zoomed in. And he's like this, and he has a big ass pot belly, and he's like this, and that's my vision of Tank. Every time, and I'm like, that can't be good.
That messed you up.
I'm like, that can't be
That
good.
messed
If
her
I
up.
think of a fighter and I just
Jenny
think pot
Craig.
belly,
To me,
Jenny
when
Craig
he,
in
to me is
it.
when he had that black turtleneck and he had the earrings.
When it looked like The Rock.
I like the Cabbage Patch doll.
Yeah, no.
The Cabbage Patch.
Patch.
Shout out to Boxing Antics because that's the guy that made the Cabbage Patch thing, and
Patch.
Javante actually put it as his profile picture.
Dude.
And he's the one making him look like obese as hell. Have you seen the ones? I think I sent it to you guys,
Is there
right?
some-
Where they
is this-
made him in the poster. They made him look
He
so.
said something like, "Someone take my
fat.
picture off."
He
Hey,
shouldn't
I-
have said that
Yeah,
because
that-
when you say that shit, you're opening yourself for them
Dude.
to mess you up
Dude.
like that.
I'm just glad we're getting great fights, man, and we can have these great
Yeah.
discussions.
After COVID, right? in COVID.
Yeah,
That's
during.
amazing.
Yeah, but we're gonna go ahead and sign off in about 5-10 minutes, and we're gonna get some of the superstars who are living in this
Hey,
this
Yeah.
home. We're gonna get them on camera. So we have two stars here joining us. You guys have seen them on the show before. We have Mr. Alan Garcia. Welcome back, sir. 1-0 now. 1-0. How does that sound? How does that feel?
Sounds better when it's 2-0.
Hey, and that's coming up, right? November 21st,
Yeah.
Tijuana, Mexico. How's everything going so far? You're back from Kansas, back in LA.
It's good. Camp is going good. I'm just, waiting for the fight to come around. But camp's going good, We're working hard, eating right, just doing what our camp does. It's after the first one, it's natural to me now.
hey.
My
how
natural
you-
habitat.
How eager are you to get in there? If the fight was tomorrow, you be ready?
Oh, definitely. Nah, that was. I mean, heart wise, yeah, but physically, nah. I'm barely in my second week of training, but I'm already looking good,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to get in the ring. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it all.
Going up one weight division.
Yeah, going up to 135 now. we didn't know I was gonna grow, but I guess after because after the fight, just putting all the fluid and stuff back in my body, it made my body grow. Yeah. My body was waiting for a growth spurt, but I was stopping it because I was cutting weight and stuff. Yeah. And so once I put everything back in my body, it was like.
Okay, so how tall are you now?
Now I'm 5'9.5".
Dang, okay. Yeah. And he's still growing.
Yeah.
Almost
5'10". We couldn't stop it.
We tried.
We tried.
How did Kansas treat you? How they treat you back home when you came back as a professional and undefeated?
It was cool. It's always good going back to my peoples. So like I always know who the haters are, and you're always gonna find a few more pop out. So it was cool, but overall, everyone was supportive. Everyone was just, they're congratulating me. Everyone was being cool. It's just I was getting on my nerves, and everyone was calling me Hollywood. So I was like, I'm not. Hollywood.
You get used to it. They call me that, and I'm from LA.
Yeah. So but overall, it was cool. To see family and friends and get to hang out with my people again.
Hey. What do you tell them? I'm still the same guy.
Yeah, man. After they see me, I guess, because I pulled up to football games and everyone was kind of being quiet and not really talking to me, and I was like, man, what's going on? But they start seeing me more, and they're like, oh, okay, this dude's still the same dude. I don't know if they're gonna think that I was gonna act different or, but they seen I'm still the same dude. Yeah. I was still dressing the same, still, nothing drastic, nothing changed except for my body,
Yeah. They thought you were gonna pull up with security guards or what? Or something?
Yeah, something like that. I guess they thought I was gonna just completely change my mindset, but Kansas boy.
Yeah, me. Kansas boy. Another Kansas boy that just fought was the Compa, right?
Yeah, Nico.
How'd you feel about seeing him?
Oh man, I was nervous for him. I was sitting on this couch right here, and I was all cheering through the TV if he could hear me. But, but man, he got hit with one good punch, and we're all just like, ooh. He got right back on that dude, and I called him later on that night, and then again the next morning he showed me his hands were even right here was all swelled up, man. Okay. His knuckles were swollen and everything was swollen. He had to get little stitches, and I was like, "You gonna do it again?" He's like, He's like, "I'm not doing that because I'm gonna stick to boxing." So, but it was pretty cool seeing him, doing something out of his comfort zone and also opening up doors for a lot of other athletes that want to go into the bare knuckle competition. So it's pretty cool.
What'd you think about the fight, Roxy?
Oh, I was just like, you know what? I actually searched up. I was like the women's 125 division, and I seen the two champions. I was like, man, I can do this. Hold up, let me go. I was like, the tryouts are in Phoenix in December, so let's go. I was kidding.
Coach G said, go to your room.
No, but my hands. I don't think I would want to do that. If it's only defending myself in the street, that's different. But But I mean, they pay good money, so I don't know.
Yeah, I actually bought the pay-per-view because I wanted to, support Nick, and I saw all the previous fights, and man, everybody was bloody, dude. I'm like,
see the one where his face is this jaw, look, jaw on his cheek. You
guys saw those fights?
Yeah, we watched about 4 of them. It was crazy, man. I was like, there's a few dudes that I knew on there.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just like, dude.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's illegal here in a lot of states. It's only legal in 7 states or something. Florida, Kansas, Alabama, I think something like that.
Yeah, but I mean,
I didn't know that. Interesting.
And you know what? They allowed fans in there without the social distancing and without masks.
I know.
So, boxing promotions, y'all need to take your shows to Kansas, to Salina specifically, because they're already, they're opening back up, and so. I mean, it was pretty cool to see fans, back in there. Yeah, hearing the screaming, and you don't realize how much
of a difference.
How much of a difference and how much it can affect a person. I haven't fought with fans yet, but I'm pretty sure when I do, I'm gonna feel the difference.
That's true. That's true. What advice do you give them, Coach? When we talked about the emotion factor. What advice do you give these up and comers?
Just zone in. Zone in and. He's pretty good at that, though, and it's hard to hear your corner. And these fighters, if they're taught in the gym to listen to your corner and listen really closely, it's hard when you have people screaming and yelling. So you really got to zone in, Yeah. And don't get caught up in the emotion where everybody's screaming your name or chanting and you end up getting careless and they were you're you're not zoned in.
Yeah.
What can we expect from Alan?
Another
the,
knockout.
The opponent just got announced, or no, we'll leave
Yeah.
that to the side. But
No,
we don't
yeah.
care about the opponent. But what can we expect from Alan?
Well, he's definitely this camp. We're working on a lot of body punching, body shots, just focusing on the body, and because he has his boxing ability is great, and just bringing out the power and sitting on his punches on the body shots. And I like to see him hit the body more, so we're really focused on that. I put the body
Those hurt, huh?
Those
hurt.
I'm all bruised up. I showed up. I'm in my purple and black on my
Yeah.
ribs and my kidney. Like, it's the grown men in the gym. They look at me. It's like, I don't know how you do that. I don't know. It's like, I won't put it on. I said, put it on. It's like, heck no. They won't put it on. But yeah, so we've been focusing a lot on the body.
Yeah. I was taking punches from Alan. That's when he was smaller, right?
Uh-huh.
He's bigger, so.
So I was already cutting weight. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he's full size right now, and yeah, you were there. You saw him punching the body. What did you
They
rate?
hurt
What
me.
did you rate that?
I was like an 11 out of 10. I thought I heard gunshots, bro. I was getting scared. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, you're looking good, bro, and we can't wait for your fight. We hope you get another knockout, and we hope you just keep learning every day, man. I know Coach G is treating you well, and Coach Andy, so shout out to them, and wish you the best, man.
Thank you.
November
I appreciate it.
21st.
November 21st.
Yes, sir.
Another knockout.
Another knockout.
Preferably going to break a rib, or if you, I'm gonna turn it up on this one, because like the last one, it was like I feel like I started off too slow, but then again, like my point wasn't to try to start off too fast. So, we're just gonna pick the pace up a little bit still, figure out the first round, how he's moving, how he's coming in, but do enough to, still take the round by a 10-9 or possibly even a 10-8.
Or a knockout.
Or a knockout, if it comes, it comes.
Yeah.
And if it's coming with the left hand.
Hey,
Hey.
let's go. And you're a natural left-hander, right?
I
Yeah.
am.
See that glove right there? We're gonna
Yeah.
do a wall, and it's gonna have nothing but left gloves.
Hey,
Left
okay.
hand glove. She keeps the left hand glove. I keep the right hand.
Hey.
So
All right, and we like to give shout outs on these shows, so go ahead and shout out all your friends, man, all the people from Kansas who are gonna be tuning in.
So they know
Listen
you're in
to-
Hollywood.
I wanna shout out all my friends. I have a lot of friends in Kansas, so there's a lot to name. But shout out to my class. The people I went to school with. Shout out to the teachers, the principals. Shout out to my parents, Ivelio and Mireya, and my dad Paul. Also, today's my little sister's birthday, so shout out to
Hey,
Lily.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Um,
birthday.
Yeah, man, just shout out to all my siblings. Shout out to everyone that supports me. Shout out to Against the Ropes. Shout out to
Shout out to those guys.
my coach. Shout out to Coach Andy and Mark. And a big shout out to Sparmat too,
Hey.
But without everybody and without the way life's working for me, I don't feel like any of this would be possible.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I am stepping into the ring, but it all falls back like a pyramid. It goes from me to me and my team to me and the people I'm around, friends. So big shout out to everyone that's kept me on track. That's kept pushing me, motivating me to do better. So big shout out to everyone.
Can't wait to see you back in the ring, my man.
Stealing the show? Stealing the show?
Heck yeah. We talking about. I'll answer that for you.
Definitely.
And then
mandatory.
Roxy, do you have any shout outs or any stuff you want to plug?
That I'm tired. No. Shout out to everyone that's been supporting me and everyone that's been waiting for me to fight or been supporting me no matter what the circumstances are. They're always there for me, on the side of me. Shout out to my mom and Coach Andy. Well, I'm called Coach G because I don't know what she refers to right now. Shout out to Spark. Shout out to the whole UFC gym. And then you guys for always coming and actually coming to my house instead of me going there. You make it feel like home, literally. Appreciate you guys. I also want to shout out Chicana Boxing for coming over here too as well. And, another female, which is something we do need. And, yeah, shout out to everyone.
She's doing a great job.
Yeah.
And then follow you at Right Hook Roxy, right?
Yes, at Right Hook Roxy on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah. Are you going to keep those videos coming? I know everybody's been watching lately and commenting and very excited that you're quote unquote back on
Yes,
Instagram.
yeah, I'm actually back, and
Back
like a lot
she
of
never left.
shoot, back like I never left. Everyone's really like supporting me, and I really appreciate that. Like it actually motivates me, to keep going and keep pushing myself harder.
100%.
For the people that are watching, like while we were doing the previous podcast, these guys were working. They were running, putting in miles. So
yeah, they just came back from their 40.
Yeah, I took a
30,
shower.
What was it, G? 30
30
minutes.
I had the timer on. So.
30 minutes.
Roxy tried to say 40 minutes. And I was like, I don't know.
It was almost 40 minutes.
Roxy's
The
like,
minute you guys walked out, I put it on. When you came in, it was 30 minutes, 50 to say.
Bruh.
Well, I can't time myself from going to the bridge and back. Like it's not. You want me to wait 10 minutes outside to wait? No.
Either way, we got a good run in. Got
way,
to
yeah.
sit a little bit
That's off the air, right?
of bourbon.
I look like a red tomato, but I just showered and don't worry, I showered, and I came here to do the podcast.
Roxy and Alan.
Process of elimination.
Right?
Huh.
She's like, I was moving. That's why I came fast.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
All right, but I just want to end it with a big thank you to you, Coach G, Ms. Gloria, for opening the doors to your home and allowing us to do this podcast with you. I know we've been bugging you about it for a while, and you're always kind of like, can I bring Andy? Can I bring Alan? Can I bring Roxy? But we wanted to get your story out there. We know it's very interesting, and you're very inspiring. I know I get inspired by you and Coach Andy, seeing you guys work. You guys make me want to keep going, doing my thing. I know I don't train, I don't box, but I do other things, and I get inspired by you guys. So thank you very much for allowing us to do this with you.
Can I give one more shout out?
Of course.
I want to shout out my friend. He's one of my dearest friends. He passed away. Shout out to Aaron. He kept me sane while I went home. I went to go visit him as much as possible. I want to give a shout out to Aaron. I'm dedicating my next fight for you, man. He was really supportive. He really pushed me to keep doing good in life, to make life fun, but to do it in a responsible way and to keep boxing. So, yeah, big shout out to him. This next one's for him.
Shout out to Aaron. And thank you for sharing that, Alan. I know you shared it last time as well. And I feel like people, when they hear that, they get to see the sacrifices, You were here training. You didn't get to go to the funeral or any of that stuff. So it's good that people get to see the sacrifices. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah. I actually went to go visit him like multiple times that was the first thing I did actually when I pulled into my town. I hit Kansas, then I hit a 1 hour drive back home. And first thing I did when I pulled into town, I dropped off my luggage, so it's with my family. And then I had my sister take me to go see his grave. And it was crazy because we were there and his parents pulled up in his car and we all just kind of sat there, And so it hit real deep and, I just got to take it all in because I wasn't able to be there for the services. And like the dirt was still fresh. It wasn't like no grass or nothing growing over it. So, but yeah, it felt good to go home and talk to him. So, like I said, big shout out to Aaron.
Yeah. For my part, guys, I want to thank you guys. You guys are special. You guys really are special. Coach, you're special. Roxy, you're special. Alan, you're special. You're special too, bro. You guys are young. You guys are doing something that not many, people your age are doing. But this work ethic that you're doing, this team that you guys are building, you guys are in the right place. Like there's other people that wish that they were in your shoes, but you guys, have that, in a way, that responsibility in a way. But it's you guys are chasing your dreams, but you guys are also, there's other people behind you that you guys are, achieving, their dreams in a way. So I just want to, commend you guys again, just for for that mindset that you have, the work ethic that you guys have, and like Gio said, you guys are inspiring him, you inspire me, you inspire a bunch of other people that you guys may not know. Yeah, people that are going to be watching you guys on TV, people are going to be watching this video and stuff. And so just keep at it. You guys are special, and don't squander that gift. You guys have something here.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
Also, I'd like to give a quick shout out to the Lakers, baby.
There you go. Let's go.
Okay, but shout out to the Lakers. We out here, LA, baby. Okay, that's all.
Good
Have a good night. Good night.
That's a great way to end it. Gee, did you get any shout outs in?
Yeah, there you
No,
go.
I didn't.
Still, shout out to the Lakers all day.
17.
I just want to shout out to you guys. They always since day one, you've always backed us, and whether it be a donation or just coming to the gym from far away, Long Beach to San Fernando Valley, to watch us train for hours, and then come to the house and then watch us train again for a few more hours at the UFC gym. You joining us at the beach, on our runs early in the morning,
Exercising.
getting the exercise, running with, and we just want to shout out to my daughter, amazing fighter, amazing athlete, works hard when she has to. I'm not gonna say every day, but when she needs to work out hard, she's on it. She's a leader. I also want to shout out to my young boxer right here, Alan Garcia, for making the sacrifices, believing in me, believing in what we do, and he's a great kid, and he's putting in all the work, and not a lot of 17-year-olds would make those kind of sacrifices, leaving their home, their family, and so a big shout out to him. You're doing a great job. You're gonna go far. I promise you. Thank you.
That is it. Lakers on
A shout out to
3.
the Balderas
Oh, shout out to these
here.
guys. They're doing it.
Just walking in here like they live here.
So, Jose, pleasure, bro.
Yeah, before we get out here, I want to send some shout outs as well. Make sure to follow Sparmat on Instagram at SPARMAT. Is that correct?
Yes, Sparmat.
Right. Follow Sparmat, follow Hook Roxy, follow He's XX Alan. Two N's?
Yes, you
Yes,
got
sir.
it.
There we go. Follow at Coach G Boxing. Make sure to follow us as well. And make sure to follow Puro Golpe. Check out the shop at www.purogolpe.com.
And Chicana
I was
Boxing.
gonna say Chicana Boxing.
That was the
thank
next
you.
one. That was the next one.
Chicana Boxing,
He's
thank
got
you
a
so
whole
much
list.
for coming to my home and
I'll mind
interviewing
some.
me and keeping the women power.
Chicana
strong.
Boxing with the XICANA boxing.
Hey.
I remember it.
ChicanaBoxing.com, and make sure to subscribe to her YouTube channel. That's all I got. You got anything, Chris?
Nah, to me just
Period.
My
To-
shop.
Shout out to everybody that tunes in. Shout out to everybody that supports this team. Everybody does their thing to support. We may not know everybody, but we just want to thank you guys wherever you are, whether you're in Kansas, whether you're in Mexico. Thank you for pushing these guys and believing in them, because they're gonna make something, in this boxing world. So just keep it going.
Coach G on 3. Ready?
Hey,
1, 2, 3.
Coach G.
And the Lakers.
Lakers taking the Thunder.